Hey, FYE Finance family, welcome to this edition of Flip It with Samara, a show designed to flip the narrative on how we view and use the power of tax planning in both our personal and business lives. Here on Flip It, we have created a safe space for you to learn, to ask questions, to share your own experiences. So we want you to be engaged in that comment section. We encourage it. So throughout the live, your comments, your questions, they will be addressed, all right? And we have a special guest on tonight who's going to help me do so. So she'll keep me on track, I promise. And so, as always, right, we want to tell you what our mantra is on Flip It. Our mantra is that the wealthy don't start tax planning once they become wealthy, but yet use tax planning as a tool in order to grow their wealth. So, what does that mean? That means that tax planning is for you. It is for wherever you are on your financial journey, you can start tax planning, right? So we encourage you to connect with us after the show, and we'll share some information on how you can do that so that you can connect with us and use some of these same tools and strategies that we share with you week over week. Right? So, before I go any further, I want to revisit what our word for the month is. It is education, right? And so, since we are keeping with the theme of education, I brought someone on who can definitely help educate us concerning the platform called TikTok. So I know that I have dabbled, I have tried, y'all, and I feel like I have failed epically on making successful TikTok videos, but it was all in fun, right? And I want to like learn, what am I doing wrong, right? These are some of my questions, like, what am I doing wrong? Why is my video not going viral? What hashtag should I be using? What music should I be using? I don't know what's trending. And so because we have all of these unknowns, all of these questions that we need answers to, like always, right? We become defeated and we're like, oh, we're just going to do what we know. And so sometimes we end up not using a platform because we just don't understand how to use it. So I wanted to bring on an expert who's going to walk us through how we can use TikTok in a successful manner so that we can get the results that we want for our business, right? We want to be out there, we want to become visible, and that means using other mediums that we may not have been using in the past, right? Especially if it's on trend, which TikTok we know is right now. So without further ado, I want to welcome to the stage Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn.
Hello, Samara. Thank you so much for having me, and hello to everybody who's tuning in. Good to see you all.
Yes. So, Carolyn, you are going to be our TikTok expert for the evening. So, put that hat on, okay? I want you. It's on. There you go. It looks good.
We're good. We're
Um,
ready.
so, Carolyn, if you don't mind, please introduce yourself to the FI Finance family.
So, as Samara said, my name is Carolyn. I started in the online space as a Facebook and Instagram ads manager, which I still do. And on that journey, learning how to do that and getting better at that, I started to look into TikTok just because it was new, and I wondered, like I'm sure a lot of you have, what's happening over there. That's that's interesting, and I know a lot of people are using it, but how and how do how do you do that? I think that's the biggest question it comes to when it comes to TikTok. People just wonder how, because it seems like people get on and then they blow up magically. And so I decided to start learning about the app and then develop my services so that I could help business owners like you utilize it in your business.
Right, right. And I know like you have a background in entertainment, right? So for someone who
Yep.
does not, um, TikTok can be intimidating because we're like,
Mhm.
ugh, we're not used to being in front of a camera or in the forefront. So we don't know what to do, especially since all of the videos that I usually get in my feed are people, doing a dance or pointing at something. So we're like, we don't
Hmm.
know what to do. What do I do with my hands? I definitely talk with my hands, but I don't know
Me too.
what to do. Right.
Yep.
So definitely, let's start there. Let's start with the how. Like, how do we get started?
Hmm. Well, first you have to get on TikTok, just making a profile. I would not start with a business profile right away. This
Mm.
might sound weird, but you're saying, but I am a business, but I'm a business owner. I'd hold off for a bit because when you're using TikTok for business, and it's something to keep in mind, you need to be wary of copyright. You can't use all the audios to promote your
Oh.
business. So if you start off as just a regular account, you have access to more things. And
Mm.
mhm. So when you first get started, this is your official permission slip to dive down the rabbit hole. You are allowed, I'm giving you permission and encouraging you to get a little lost in there because it's different. It's not quite like the other apps. And in fact, most of the other platforms are trying to keep up with TikTok. TikTok has 1.1 billion users and it's only going to increase. People are definitely expecting that. So if you're wondering why is Facebook asking me to make reels? What are Instagram reels? Why do I need to make reels? What are or excuse me, YouTube shorts? What is all this and why do people want us to do it? It's because they're trying to keep up with TikTok.
Mm.
TikTok has tons of people on it and they are engaged.
Mm.
TikTok is the platform with the most engagement. I think second to it is Pinterest, but TikTok is the most engaged by a mile.
Oh my gosh. And see, like, it's funny that you say that, right? Like, first, I didn't know that I was doing that part right where I started a personal TikTok page.
Hmm.
So I didn't do
Yep.
business, I did personal. And I think the first video that I posted, well, the first one that got a lot of traction was when I fired my boss. So like I had this song like I'm coming in hot, and it was like me walking out and waving to everybody, right? Because that was a good
Hmm.
feeling and I wanted to celebrate it, and I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
could do a TikTok with this.
Hmm.
But to be on it, like I get oftentimes my husband, like he's on TikTok more than me. So he'll share videos with me and stuff. And I'm like, how do people just sit here and look at these videos hours on end? But then you get caught up, right? Like you look at one and then like the next reel comes up and you're like, oh, that
It
was funny. Oh,
sucks
that's
you in,
interesting.
and it does it automatically. If you've never been on the app, you watch a video, it ends, boop, it
Right,
goes right up. They make it easy to swipe up to the next one. And
right,
when you start an account, it does ask you, what are your interests?
right,
It wants you to see things that you like because ultimately with TikTok, with any social media app, they want people on the app. They
right.
want you using it. And an important thing to keep in mind, especially when we get frustrated, when you're not like seeing the results that you want, TikTok does want you to succeed because where are you going to put your time?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're seeing results, why would I spend time on a platform that I feel frustrated by or that I'm not getting the traction that I want? It does want you
Mm.
to succeed.
Wow. And that's what I think sets TikTok apart from the others, right? And so it's funny because just like we were talking backstage before we came on the live, right? It used to be Instagram, oh, as long as you post content every day, like you're good, you're going to get in front of people. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we need Instagram reels. We need
Hmm.
videos. So you
Yep.
can see that they're trying to keep up with TikTok. TikTok came on the platform and just like broke the mold and was like, nope, this is how we're going to operate. And it's funny because I didn't even know inside of TikTok, like you were saying, going down the rabbit hole, that there are specific subject matters that you can use your hashtag for, are communities that you can become a part
Hmm.
of just by using your hashtag. So I didn't know there was a FinTalk. So
Hmm.
basically, it's all these people that just talk about finance. So I'm like,
Hmm. Not
what?
only is there a FinTalk, it blew up in the
Right.
past year. I think, let me double check this stat. Yep, according to Hootsuite, it grew by 255% in
Wow.
the past year. And that's just
Wow.
FinTalk, finance talk, because everybody is up there like, what
Right.
do I do? How do I invest? What is crypto? What is an NFT?
Right.
Those aren't things I know the answer to, just to be
No, no, no. But you're
just to be
right.
clear. I don't know. But that's the kind of thing.
Right. Right.
More people are getting on TikTok to learn, but still the number one reason people say they're on TikTok is for entertainment. So starting off with a video like you did, like, I just fired my boss.
Right.
And like doing something fun like that is a great way to get started. I would not come out of the gate, even if you've done some research, I would not come out of the gate and immediately start teaching or selling.
Mm.
First, build up that audience. Get people to, you'll hear this a lot in marketing, the know, like, and trust factor.
Mm-hmm.
So first you want people to know you, get some traction, people can recognize you, say, "Oh, it's that person. That person, I know them." So they know who you are. They like you. They like
Mm-hmm.
what you do. So if you're doing, coming right out of the gate and you're teaching, you haven't gotten that like or that trust factor yet. You haven't established yourself as an authority. Your video could pop up, but nobody knows you. Like, why should I listen to
Mm.
them? I don't know them. I
Right.
don't know you. Who are you? So if
Right.
you focus first on entertaining content or things that you just enjoy doing, I think it's important, not just with TikTok, but with any social media. We get really focused on like results or business. And if you're making content that you enjoy, that you're making, it's gonna come through regardless of what it is.
That's some good advice because you're
Mhm.
right. Like me, right? Because I'm a right side of the brain type girl. Um, I'm always thinking like, okay, I gotta teach. I gotta put forth some good content. It has to be content that people want to know about. Has to be what's trending. What are people asking about and finding? You know what I'm saying? And so I
Yeah.
get so caught up in it and
And
all
doing
the
that research is important. But
right.
first, you can just let yourself have fun and
Yeah.
enjoy being on the app.
Right, right. Because I'm pretty sure, like, when you get caught up in those videos, that's what you're caught up on is the reaction of the people, right? You
Mhm.
can feel their personality come through, and it's I don't know, it keeps you engaged. It's infectious almost. So you want to make sure
Mhm.
that you're providing that same infectiousness when you are creating your own content. So that was a good tip. I'm so glad that you shared that with us to make sure that we do it right, right? First, people,
Mhm.
you have to be entertaining. Are you not entertained? So
Exactly.
entertain your audience. We have
Mhm.
some questions, Carolyn, before we go
Sure.
further. So, Samurai is asking, how do you determine the mood of your TikTok? Should it be funny, serious, or professional?
I think it should reflect your whatever your mood is, whatever you do naturally, because people can tell if you're just putting something on, if you're not being authentic, it comes across. So if you're not like, like me, where you talk with your hands and you make a lot of facial expressions, that's okay. You don't have to do that. There are lots of different ways that you can still be you and still be trendy and doing things that are involved in your niche. And if you spend that research time that we were talking about, you'll see lots of different things. And there's lots of, I mean, you can just get inspired by others and put your own spin on it. If when you're doing your research, you're going through, you might see something that you like or hear an audio,
Mm,
because audio is a big part of TikTok too. We all know
right,
that, the music.
right.
And you might not do exactly the same thing. You might not dance to that song, like somebody else did or use it exactly the same way, but you can make it your own.
Right. Yep, that's some good advice, especially because the audio is important. And I think that that should also coincide with your personality. I think when you're with making anything, right, people can kind of tell when you're faking it and when it's authentically you. And I think people connect with you more when it's
Mhm.
authentically you, right?
Absolutely.
So
Mhm.
just be
Well,
you.
imagine if your TikTok is one persona per se, and then somebody hops on a call, if you're a coach or something like that,
Right.
and then they hop on a call with you and you are not your TikTok persona,
Right.
then there's a big disconnect.
Right.
Now, to be clear, I'm not advocating that you come up with a TikTok persona and that you we
Right.
don't you don't need to be Hannah Montana. It's
Right.
okay.
It's okay. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. Be yourself, people. So cool. So now we know like how we need to get started, right? Oh, one more question before we move forward. I told you you got to keep me on
Mhm.
point, Carolyn.
Yep.
So Wayne has a question. He says, "Do you create your own TikToks?" So I guess he's asking like you personally, or should you as a business owner create your own TikToks?
I don't create my own TikToks at this time, but as you scroll, you get ideas.
Okay.
Um, and so that's part of what I do for business owners is I can help them create TikToks.
Mm.
It's entirely what you're comfortable with. There are certainly video editors out there. There are lots of apps that you can use and tons of YouTube tutorials. That's time, certainly less time I think than people realize, but it is some time to invest in like figuring out what you can do and what's maybe a little bit too much.
Okay. I
And
mean, and so we have another question to follow up with that. So Angelica is asking, what are some video ideas for a business coach? So specifically, and she's asking this because she is a business coach. So she wants
mhm,
to know, like, how does she get started? Because I think she may be a newbie to TikTok.
yeah, it's important. One thing to keep in mind with TikTok, because the videos are so short, your first 3 seconds, that hook is really important.
Mm,
So if you can come up with something that's exciting, whether that's like a video that looks engaging or sounds engaging, or if you have something like a myth bust of your industry, or like 5 things I wish I knew before I got into business. Um,
mm,
anything like anything like that. If you can just sit down, like think of some ideas, spend some time and write down things like that. Just a couple tips and tricks that you have that you wish you knew, or something that everybody gets wrong in your industry. Those do pretty well.
mm,
Like this, everybody thinks you should do this, but you should actually do that.
mm.
And if you can hook somebody right away, not just for business coaching, but any
Right.
industry, the hook is most important,
So that's
or
the
one of the
sweet.
most important, I should say.
Okay, so that's the sweet spot. And you said we have 3 seconds to do that?
About, yeah.
Okay.
If you have 4 seconds, it's don't panic.
Right.
But typically, that first three seconds of a video is where you really hook somebody. You want to hook them right from the beginning.
Cool.
Videos on TikTok that are between 21 to 34 seconds tend to do best.
Mm, okay.
And it's important to keep in mind that's the sweet spot. And you can make videos that are 15 seconds long,
Hmm.
but the shorter your video is, the longer the algorithm wants people to watch it. If you have a 15-second
Wow.
video, but there's no good hook, people don't stay engaged for that 15 seconds,
Hmm.
not going to do as great.
Right.
Mhm.
Good to know. So that goes into like my next question, right? What are some of the common misconceptions when people think about TikTok? Like, what are some of those common misconceptions? Because I know I have a lot, and I think I shared some with you, right? I thought this is all you got to do. You just point to stuff.
Yeah.
Have some
That's
music.
the first one, that it's pointing and dancing.
Right.
It definitely, I think, started that way in 2020 when it really first blew up. It was content creators with lots of dancing. And if you want to dance, go for it. Power to you.
Right.
But you don't have to dance. There are lots of people who just hold their phone and they talk to their phone, but they have a strong hook and
Mm.
they get engagement.
That's a
Definitely
good one.
dancing not required. I think people underestimate the pointing. The pointing is everybody can point in time to music. I
Okay.
really believe if you want to do that, that's okay, and it's
Right.
not as intimidating as it seems.
Right.
Um, that's definitely one, and another one I hear. I've heard people talk about um, that you need 1,000 followers to run ads. That's
Mm.
not true. You can run ads on TikTok if you have one follower. I wouldn't recommend it per se.
Wow.
When you first get on TikTok, I think you got to build some organic traction, figure out
Right.
what creatives are working, because that's the most important thing. You're creative. You gotta have engaging video.
Right.
And so build that first, and then you can do ads. But you don't need 1,000 followers to run ads. You
Wow.
do need 1,000 followers to do TikTok lives,
Mm.
which are growing. Those are newer, but they're doing pretty well. Um,
Mm. And
a
how long?
TikTok live is. Oh, yep.
I was about to ask, I'm sorry, how long are the lives, the TikTok lives?
I'd have to look that up. I'm not sure if there's a time limit. It's definitely newer. That's not my area of expertise at
Mm-hmm.
the moment. I'm still researching TikTok lives and how
Mm-hmm.
people use them effectively.
Mm.
But yep, 1,000 followers and you can go live.
Wow. And
Mhm.
that's different, right, than other platforms. Because when you think about YouTube, you have to have so many followers, you have to have so many hours of your video being watched before you can start running these ads and making money, right, off of your
Mhm.
YouTube channel, before you can monetize your YouTube channel. And so that is refreshing to hear that on TikTok you can achieve kind of the same result, but at a faster pace, as long as you first build up a good following and you're consistent. I'm assuming that
Yes.
helps build up your following too.
That brings me to another big misconception. I hear people talk about, I'm on TikTok and I'm posting 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I think that's just old information. I think a while back it was more posting 3 times a day would help you grow a lot. And it certainly can. But I think personally that only leads to one place, which is burnout.
Right,
I think for most people, 3 times a day just isn't sustainable.
right,
It's We're all business owners. We've got other things to do. It's
right,
easy to get caught up down the rabbit hole and spend your whole day on TikTok, but you don't actually want to do that.
right.
You're better off doing the research like we talked about at the beginning, spending your time really creating good quality videos
Right.
and just being consistent. TikTok wants you to be consistent. It wants to help you get in front of people who want to see your things.
Mm.
So if
So,
you're consistent posting at the same time, the same days a week,
uh-huh.
that's the
Okay.
way to go. Even if
Okay.
it's just 2 or 3 times a week, if
Mm-hmm.
keep it the same time, that's what the algorithm likes. It likes consistency. You're going to be
Wow.
better off than burning yourself out.
Wow. Okay. That is very different, right? Than some of the
Mhm.
algorithms that are on platforms like Instagram. Um, so,
Instagram,
yeah,
the algorithm just seems like a mystery to me. People talk about it, I'm like, I don't understand any of that. I don't know what's happening there. It's anybody who understands that algorithm gets a salute from me.
right. So, we do have a lot of comments and some questions. Angelica had one comment, which I think is so funny. She said, "Can I just hire you because my brain can't take it?" I think that's so funny. We do
Well, thank you,
have
Angelica.
Right. So I'm sure she'll be contacting you after the live. Samurai says TikTok lives are limited to 60 minutes. So there you
There we
go.
go. Thank you,
Wow.
Samurai.
Right. Thank you, Samurai, for sharing that. And that's a pretty long time. I mean, my lives are only for about 45 to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So you can get a lot accomplished in 60 minutes. Wow.
Mhm.
And so Angelica is asking, does TikTok offer monetization? Is that what the ads does?
Um, well, ads on TikTok are kind of like Facebook ads.
Okay.
You put in the money and then lead somebody to a sale,
Okay.
as opposed to like YouTube where you put an ad and YouTube pays you.
Right. Okay. All right. So it
If
works.
they do offer that kind of thing, I think it's definitely for like a bigger audience, a real influencer. That's not
Mm,
my area of expertise.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm helping you guys. I'm helping the business owners.
Right.
I
Right.
can't help you be Charlie D'Amelio. I don't know how to do that. Whatever magical formula, how does somebody become Instagram or YouTube famous? Who knows?
Right, exactly. I mean, I've heard stories where somebody shared, they were eating a sandwich and then all of a sudden their video went viral. And I was like, what? I can get on camera and eat a sandwich. I can do that. So I guess, I don't know, it's the luck of the draw. I guess it was the right
Mhm,
time. Maybe they were consistent, right? In posting at a particular time every day, or I
mhm,
should say every week, right? And
mhm,
so, take some of these tips that Caroline is sharing because it definitely could help us achieve some level of success. I know for me, I don't necessarily need to make money off of TikTok. I see it as a tool to get me in front of more people, right? So if more people have visibility of me, then they are going to be more intrigued to learn more about me, hopefully, right? And they'll go on other
mhm,
platforms to learn how to connect with me. So that's how I see TikTok. But great question, Angelica, because I did have that question as well. So we have another question. Angelica is asking, what's your thoughts of repurposing your long video form content? So I'm thinking like repurposing it for TikTok.
mhm. I say go for it.
Mm,
Depending on how you use it. Again, I'd start with the building up entertaining things, but it's a great thing to do. You can cut things down to the juicy parts or hook somebody in
mm,
and they only get that bit and they're like, wait, but I want the rest. Where's
right?
part two? I want the rest of it. That's a great way that you can get somebody from one place to another or to continue to watch more of your TikToks. You'll see a lot of series people do, like things that I bought on Amazon that I love.
Mm,
Part one,
gotcha.
part two, and then they go on, and there's like part 47 of things that I bought on Amazon.
Right.
But if you have good things, if you're just posting things that you bought on Amazon that people want and like, they'll say, okay, that's a cool gadget. What else did they buy? And then they're watching your videos. So
Right.
you can definitely take your longer form video and chop it down. I test it, so to speak. I try it once or twice and like see if your audience responds to it
Okay.
because some people do, some people don't. With anything, test.
Right. Trial and error. Right. Yep.
Exactly. And there's going to be trial and error when you
Right.
first get started. And things change all the time on TikTok. It goes really, really fast.
Mm,
So
just
what worked a couple months ago, people might be done and over with that trend.
Mm, yep. And that's a great question, Angelica. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, can I repurpose some of the, like, for instance, this live, right? Can I repurpose this and put a snippet of it on TikTok? I didn't know that TikToks allows you to upload like pre-recorded videos. I literally thought you had to be in their app and like, hit the little record button and then do the video. I didn't know that. Cool.
Nope, you don't. You definitely can, and that's easy. They do have lots of filters, lots of ways to edit, but there are outside apps that you can use.
Cool.
And a lot of like the big fancy edits that
Hmm.
people do are done in other apps. And
Hmm.
then people put them on TikTok and add the audio there. Sometimes you can add the audio before. It all depends on which app.
Okay.
But speaking of repurposing
Hmm.
content, if you're on TikTok, you can take those videos that you make and use them in Reels and on your other social media.
Right. Yep, that much I did know. So, like, I knew that you can do it the other way around
Mhm,
because when I did my Fire My Boss video, like, I
mhm,
repurposed it and posted on Facebook and Instagram. And
mhm,
actually, like, got more engagement. It was funny when I
mhm.
posted it on like Instagram and Facebook rather than TikTok, largely because I was new to TikTok, right? And I didn't
Mm,
have,
yeah.
a following. But yeah, so that part I knew. Like I knew you can repurpose it that way. I just didn't know you could do it the other way. So good to know.
Mhm,
Thank you, Angelica, for asking that question. Okay, so let me make sure we don't have any other. Wayne says, "Hold up, did someone say sandwiches? I want one." He got sidetracked. That's so funny. Um, and then Samurai made a comment. He says, I've seen businesses give short videos to drive business to their website. Right, right. And
mhm,
so that
yep,
was my intention when I said, okay, I want to learn about this TikTok thing. I want to learn how I can use videos to just push people to a way of contacting me so that I can get in
mhm,
front of them and then, go into my spiel. So, um, cool. So now we talked about like the how, right? We
mhm.
talked about some of the misconceptions. So now I want you to go into like why should I be using TikTok for my business?
Mhm. So we've kind of touched on it a little bit because
Right.
there are billion people,
Right.
billion people over on TikTok, and the demographic is growing. It definitely skews younger still,
Okay.
but it's growing. Every month it's going up. More people are getting on TikTok and exploring it. There are lots of industries that do well are beauty, fashion, jewelry, art,
Mm.
home interior. These are the top 10 according to openbusinesscouncil.org, .org or .com, one of the two.
Mm.
Where is it? And then six, food, not surprising, everybody loves food, mobile accessories, cleaning and maintenance,
Hmm.
toys, and then the 10th that they said was the biggest one, kind of surprising, dental.
Oh, okay. That
Dental.
seems,
Dental's
yeah,
big on TikTok.
I wouldn't be watching those videos.
You never know.
But
Everybody likes the nice white smile.
I guess so. But that's interesting. So now that we kind of see what trends, I guess then it begs like the question of is my business in right for TikTok, right? Like we talked about FinTalk, so I know FinTalk is a thing. But
Hmm.
let's say that I wasn't in a business where I offered financial advice. Let's say that I was a truck driver. Like, how could TikTok benefit me when it seems like a lot of people aren't on TikTok looking for videos around truck driving?
Hmm. Yeah, it's again going back to doing the research and going down the rabbit hole. I think a great place to look is just say, is there an audience here? Are people
Mm,
talking about this at
right,
all?
right,
Because if they aren't, maybe not. Maybe hold off.
right,
But
right,
as we've talked about, there's a dental talk apparently. So
right,
you might be surprised.
right.
And like we talked about with repurposing your content, even if you are just building a following and making trendy stuff on TikTok, if you're on trend for TikTok and you repurpose things, you will be ahead of the game on
Mm.
Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. The trends generally go from TikTok to the other places.
Wow. So there you have it, audience. So we have to stop sleeping on TikTok and maybe devote more of our efforts there, because you can repurpose those videos along all of your other social media platforms where you already have a lot more engagement in the audience, but it also allows you to grow that TikTok engagement at the same time. So definitely, I'm gonna continue to do that. I may be contacting you really, really soon, Carolyn,
I would
because
love that.
yeah, because I get so intimidated. Like I said, I did the one video and I thought it was good, but again, it was me doing something that I thought was fun, right? Had nothing to do with business or anything like that. It was just a fun video celebrating one of my major accomplishments. And so I think people connected with that more, right? Because they saw, oh, this is fun. This is a big, I want to do that one day. So see, that was my in, duh, and I didn't even know it. Like I could have, put some type of hashtag or something that says, hey, if you want to fire your boss, blah, 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 blah. You just never know, right?
Mhm.
So,
People go to
cool.
TikTok for entertainment, and the next biggest reason that in polls that people say they go for TikTok is for inspiration. People,
So,
so telling your story is
right,
a great way to connect with people on TikTok, regardless of your industry. If you
right.
have something inspiring, encouraging, people like to see that.
Wow. And that definitely makes sense as to why it's over Pinterest, because on Pinterest, people go to learn, right? Like, so if they're going to TikTok to be entertained and to be inspired, then they're like, okay, after that, let me really learn something. But I see that learning with TikTok is trending too. So
It is.
there you go.
It's growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting bigger.
It's getting bigger. There you go. All right, we have one more question, and then, well, we have two. We have a comment. So Angelica says, I speak to hairstylists and entrepreneurs. Aha.
Hmm.
So Angelica, she just
They're
told us,
there.
right, one of the top trending things are beauty and fashion. So I'm pretty sure that your people are there, Angelica. So you need to be where your people are on TikTok. She also says she's not a professional TikTok watcher, but she may be one day. Samurai says, Angelica, I'm a professional TikTok watcher, if that's a real thing, but you can use TikTok for just about anything. So there you have it. I know my daughter, she uses it a lot to just like learn little tips and tricks and DIYs. And she was
Hmm.
always like, Mom, I learned this
Life
on TikTok.
hacks
Right. That's what she
blow up.
says. Right.
And that's a great way to get on TikTok if you don't want to download the app yourself. Borrow your child's phone.
Right.
Just
That's
just mom's gonna borrow this for a bit.
right. And that's exactly how I learned to do my first one. I was like, oh, okay, Savannah, can you show me how to do this? I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, definitely, your kids are ahead of the game on you on this one, parents. So Wayne says Skittles plus TikToks plus a Coke equals 3 hours of entertainment. I'm not there yet, but I'm sure I'm going to be once I get sucked in. So thank you so much. Like this has been a lot of good information. You definitely have debunked a lot of misconceptions that I had about TikTok, and definitely given us like a good starting platform, right? So if we definitely want to pursue this further, tell us how we can connect with you, because I know a lot of people are going to be interested in connecting with you now.
So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. There's my Instagram, cmfandcompany,
Cool.
is the name of my company. That's where we are on Instagram and on Facebook. Anybody is welcome to reach out with questions. I have launched my services recently. I'm finally ready to offer it to others. So I do offer organic management as well as ads, Facebook and Instagram ads. I know that's not what we talked about today, but if somebody's looking for that too, I imagine a lot of your viewers might be interested in my brainstorm session,
Mm.
which is just 1 hour. We're going to sit down and we will talk about TikTok. And just, I can walk you through the app if you'd like. Come with any questions. There are no silly ones. It's fine. and we'll just talk about it a bit and brainstorm some ways that you can use it. And at the end, if you want to get on TikTok, great. Whether it's with me or on your own, that's awesome. And if you decide, you know what, I don't have the time for this yet, or it's too much for me right now, that's okay too. It's just 1 hour for you to learn and for me to help you.
Wow. And so that is that a free consultation or is that a I'm
No,
sorry.
it's a paid offer.
Okay.
It's a paid offer. But
Okay.
if you are interested in one of my larger offers like management or ads, I do a 15-minute just free call for us to chat a little bit and discuss whether or not we're a good fit and whether this is right for your business.
It sounds great. I think that 1 hour would be worth the payment, you guys. Especially for someone like me who just doesn't know where to start, and who would have thought that you had to plan, right, a whole hour to do a 15-second video. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like, you have to plan. You can't just show up and start pointing at things because I'm pretty sure that's where I failed. So, so definitely connect with Carolyn so she can walk you through how to successfully get started, right, on this platform called TikTok because she's already done all the hard work, all the heavy lifting, all the research. She has the data out there to support what she is going to be teaching you in that 1 hour period of time. So, again, thank you so much, Carolyn, for joining us. I know that the FYE Finance family has been truly, truly grateful that you were able to share all of your insight with us on this evening. And it's truly been a pleasure of mine. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. So I am going to allow you to wait backstage. I'm going to wrap up, but stay tuned, stay connected. I'll meet up with you shortly, okay? All right, FYE Finance family. So, again, hopefully this was helpful. I know I learned a lot, and I wanted to be mindful of Carolyn's time and your time as well. But I could have continued that conversation for, I know, at least another 30 minutes because I had so many questions about TikTok, and she definitely debunked a lot of misconceptions that I also had about TikTok. So, hopefully, you were taking notes because I know that I was. And I'm definitely going to have to connect with Carolyn after the show to get me started because it seems like that's where everything is going these days, right? So definitely make sure that you are following us. If you enjoy the content that you got tonight and you want to continue to receive content like this week over week, make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button so you get notifications whenever we are going live. So you can follow us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You can also make sure that you are downloading our podcast, right? Make sure that you are listening to our podcast. We are streaming on Audible, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. So while you are driving into work, or maybe you're at the office at the desk banging out some spreadsheets, definitely put us in your ear, right? Maybe we'll make the day go by faster. You can also connect with us on our website. So visit www.fivefinance.com. Make sure you go to that booking screen and you can book a consultation with us. Our consultations are 100% free, but you don't get an hour like Carolyn. So that's why we offer that service free for the time being. And we do tax consultations and bookkeeping consultations for you, all right? So again, we want to make sure that you have all the tools that you need to start this tax planning journey. So that's why we encourage you to connect with us. So on next week, we are going to be starting our new month. And the word that we're going to be focused on is assets. All right. So show me your assets. So we're going to walk you through some of the common questions that people have around assets. And we're going to touch a little bit on like asset planning, asset protection as well. So for the entire month of July, we will be focusing on assets. All right. So come prepared with your questions and your comments. Again, safe place. We want you to learn. We want you to ask questions. So, and I will be bringing some experts along the way to help us do deep dives into areas where I know we can use a lot more help, right, as a community. So again, FYE Finance family, thank you so much for joining me on tonight's live. I hope that you found it to be engaging and helpful and most importantly, informative, right? So until next time, I will see you all next week. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and have a blessed evening.